Check 1 2 1 2. Yeah, Super C. Yeah, stuck on C. Best believe. I know you're really fond of me. When I walk by, you see the stars in me. I understand we just what we believe. We never off, cause we stuck on C. If you my bestie, we got chemistry. Anything you want, I got what you need. Only real one can relate to me. Need some stars, so we stay on fleek.
Can you introduce me to your best friend? Yeah, I could teach you girls a little lesson. Yeah, calling on you, I hope you answer. Yeah, pull up on me when you get the message. And when you pull up, better pull up with your best friend. Yeah, I could teach you girls a little lesson. Yeah, calling on you, I hope you answer. Yeah, pull up on me when you get the message. And when you pull up, better pull up with your best friend.
It's an urban legend.
All right.
Hello, welcome back to the Urban Legend Podcast, where everybody that's on here is an urban legend podcaster. So today I have my special guest today, Alex Ray.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Alex?
Oh, just living my best life.
Okay.
Trying at least.
Well, it's been a long time due, man.
Yes, sir.
Today I was supposed to have a special guest with Terrell, but Terrell was not able to show up or wake up, so I had you come in today.
Unfortunately, once
yes,
again.
sir. So let's get at it. Today's my first, I could say today's like my first ever recorded day where I'm actually recording.
That is very true. With a guest.
With a guest, someone actually, I really want to have on. Yeah, man, I really want to start off this podcast by saying thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you guys enjoy this podcast. I'm going to get right to it. Alex, tell the people about yourself.
All right, well, I'm Alex Ray. I'm an Ottawa photographer. I just started off about not even a year ago. I've kind of had this idea of building a website, and carrying off with connecting all the photographers, videographers, all that kind of stuff, podcasts, just so like people in Ottawa, the kind of more low-key people, could get their shine that they deserve, what I mean?
Right. So Alex is, just to brief down what he said, is he's really trying to connect Ottawa, the Canada's capital, together.
Sir.
We definitely have a strong belief that Ottawa is on the rise with a lot of media, a lot of music, a lot of arts. And so you definitely want to be the frontliner to have everybody come together.
That's very true.
And so to create this website, what is going on? What is the procedure?
Okay, so the procedure right now, I'm just trying to plan on getting the people together.
Right.
I've got a lot of connections with music videographers and photographers.
Right.
But it's more or less getting more connections with models and other people like that, like social media influencers, so I can actually fill out each section. Like, for instance, a podcast like this, I'd be able to promote it and give your contact information to all these other connections. And that way, if they ever had an idea with working with you or working with another videographer or something, they could have that contact. You know what I mean? This makes things a lot easier. It's localized, It shows connection with people.
Right.
And not a lot of people are really working together, no one makes it alone, right?
Right. And yeah, let's talk about that, Ottawa and how we don't come together. I think the city that we live in, Ottawa, Ontario, in Canada, it's definitely being outshined by Toronto, especially Toronto being our next city. And a lot of people think that Toronto is the capital.
That's very true.
I think for many years, especially us being Ottawa people, for many years, we've definitely been, influenced by a lot of stuff that come from Toronto. And so, going back to what you're saying about connecting people, it's definitely time for all of us to really realize that Ottawa, we are the same as Toronto. There's really no difference.
There's no difference between here and New Brunswick.
Right, yeah. So definitely, for us to really make an impact into Ottawa, we definitely need to step up the plate and really be like, let's all unite. Let's put whatever grudges I can say we have against each other and sort of just be realized, like, we're all trying to get to the bag, right? It's all about getting to the bag. It's all about getting whatever spotlight we want. And so for people that are really interested in what you're talking about, where can they find you and where can they contact you?
They can contact me at on Instagram, and I just recently changed my name to Ray's Productions.
Okay.
That's RAYZ.productions with a Z. And the website will be coming out very soon. I'm planning within the next week or two. I'm really trying to get it moving.
Okay.
And other than that, it's pretty much just Instagram right now. You can email me through my Instagram page.
You heard that, guys. You heard that. Yeah, man. So contact this guy. Let this guy know what's up. So Alex, what's up, man? I think that was a great intro, man.
That was a good intro.
Definitely, this is like one of the first times I said, like, I could definitely feel comfortable talking.
Yeah.
I think podcasting is dope.
podcasting is very dope. It's just, it's another aspect of kind of relieving stress, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to log your stuff, and
Right.
and two, a way to keep your brain moving, keep positive thinking, keep thinking about what's next. You
Right. Yeah, man.
'Cause,
Talk to me, man. What's new with you? What's going on?
you know, other than photography, just working, you know,
Yeah,
at the
man.
keg, yes sir.
The
Oh,
keg on
man.
Hunk Club.
Oh yes sir.
Yeah, man. It's been definitely a busy week for all of us. I think with Christmas coming up too, it's like everyone's trying to make that money so they can buy presents, and like,
Yeah, real shit.
like we're all hustling our way ass to this, man.
Yeah, that's why we gotta start this thing, you
Yeah,
know,
man.
get another grind going.
Yeah, hell yeah, like, you know. And I think no, with this podcast too, it's like I definitely don't want to start off thinking I'm gonna get money, but if I do get like a big audience with, hopefully you guys share this podcast with everybody, you know, try to get money. No, like definitely if people share this, you know, I think it'd be dope to see where this can go. And you know,
That's very true.
as I said, like this is an urban legend podcast. Like just to brief it down again, like I think with everyone that's gonna come in this podcast, like I know everyone that's coming on this podcast has a goal, and that's to make money. That's to definitely, you know, better their life in self-improvement. And with this podcast, I definitely want to shine, you know, the important people in my life to really, you know, show the people around who's listening and watching that, like, you know, everyone's the same, man. Like, you know,
true.
we're really trying to grind. So
It is true. Everyone's just trying to get a new way of life, you know what I mean? Like no one nowadays wants to work a full-time job, you know?
What is a full-time job?
Yeah.
What is a full-time job?
There ain't enough money, that's what it is.
Right. I was actually reading an article the other day, and it was talking about how, like, in 2 years, we're going to be opening up 3.2 million jobs in Canada, right? So for the younger generation that's growing up, it's like for us time to realize, like, we got to start, you know, thinking for other things. Like you're a photographer, so it's already good that you're putting yourself out there in multiple, I guess, medias or mediums, you know, mediums expression for different types of arts. But yeah, and I think it's time for us as a young generation to be like, no, like, one career path is not going to satisfy, you know, like, and really meet all our requirements, especially as young adults right now. So
yeah, especially like the past couple of years, I've really learned that like you're never gonna really stick to one thing. For up until you're 40 or 50, you're still gonna be doing multiple things.
Right.
But it's really what makes you happy, and if it makes you that money type idea that you can sustain, keep a roof over your head and keep a smile on your face, whatever it takes, you know what I mean? If it takes you no sleep for a couple months and you have to grind it out, then
yeah, man,
it's sacrifice.
you gotta starve yourself a bit. You gotta starve yourself, man.
Yes,
At the
sir.
end of the day, you're gonna be, you know, feeding yourself fat. Yeah, man. So let me ask you a question here. Now that you're going into this new chapter in your life where you're realizing that you need passive income from many ways, do you ever work and think about your children, like hindsight, or do you think about yourself?
Mainly right now, I'm working just to kind of improve my family. Like it's more or less, I want to prove to the family and that my other better off side of the family I have the same chance as them. You know what I mean? Like my cousin pretty much. You know, he's well off. He's gotten a pretty good job, went through school and everything, and it's harder because my side of the family obviously doesn't have the funds.
Right.
But I find those type of people are really the entrepreneurs, because they're the ones that are thinking outside the box. They're the ones that are thinking like, what can I do that can make me money that I can't enroll in school with and people haven't heard of, you know what I mean? And that kind of stuff just blows my mind, you know. It's finding the positive out of the negative, you know what I mean?
Right. Making the best out of the, you know, the negative.
Out
And
of the worst.
I think that's a lot of people fall under that depression of like they don't know how to get out of the situation that they're in, you know. They sort of confined to like drugs or like alcohol, you know. Some people just don't, they need help to think outside of what their situation is, you know. So for you, it clearly shows that you have role models in your family that you look up to, you know, and definitely the fact that you have a goal to sort of make sure you and your family are well off for later future shows that, you know, you're really in here for the grind.
Yeah,
that's good,
sure.
man, and that's good.
Not just in it to make the money and make myself rich,
For
you know,
sure,
have
for
fame.
sure.
It's none of that.
For sure, man. Being rich is a miserable life, and I think that's something I definitely got to learn this last year, was like just watching from videos that like when you're rich, you know, all that it is you're really just caring about a material thing, and that's paper. You know what I'm saying? When you're rich, all you want to do is keep being rich. But why are you gonna keep being rich if your money's not gonna come with you?
Exactly,
You know what I'm
that's what I'm saying.
So yeah, man, that's good, bro. That's good. What else? What do you want to talk to me about? You're on my podcast.
Yeah.
You talk to me, man. You tell me what's up.
I could ask you a couple questions.
What's up? Yeah, let me know.
Well, I was thinking, what made you come up with the idea of the podcast?
The idea of the podcast actually came a year ago. I was with a friend of mine, Tristan, and me and him actually had an initial idea of starting a podcast on our own. Mm-hmm. But he decided to go to Vancouver for a bit, and I decided to travel the world. So within the time of me traveling and being out of the country, I realized that there's a lot I like to say, and there's a lot like I would love to talk to people, especially people like you, like people I know, and I think it was a certain podcast I was listening to, and I just fell in love with the idea of having a conversation with someone, and I think I'm not saying that I have the best things to say or I'm always right. No, it's simply just I have the most interesting things to say, and I would love, if there's someone out there that has the same mindset as I do, I'm sure they would like to relate to what I have to say. And
yeah,
so,
it's keeping conversations going,
right, and like trying to relate to the audience.
Yeah.
And so when I came to the idea, I was like, okay, like let me try to see what I could do. And so I started jotting down like what type of like podcast I wanted, and like as I was writing down, I was like, nah, like fuck this podcast is mine, and I'm gonna make it my own. So I decided to do a podcast, and it took me a while to discover the name. At first, it was gonna be called Fobcast.
Fobcast.
Just because like I'm a fob fresh off the boat, but but it was like I was like nah. It's gotta be something like smooth, something like very modern. And I was like, and as I was like I'm thinking like who are the people that come on a podcast? And I'm like, everyone that comes on a podcast has something interesting to say, and their stories might have not been told, or might have been told, like said it was a lie. So I came with the idea like the urban legend, like what is an urban legend? I started like searching what urban legend means, and urban legend is just basically a story that may seem to be true or not true, but at the end of the day, you're hearing it, right? It's the fact that you know it. That's so true. I was like, okay, urban legend, and I'm like, okay, everyone that comes on here is an urban legend. Their stories, they view in life is an urban legend because they get to live it. It's
another view in life. It's another pass through like.
It's another walk of life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So urban legend came about, and now I'm here. Now I'm here, slow and steady, man. This is like, as I said, this is the first episode of many, and so I hope to continue this. Hopefully, we get to see you more on podcasts, man. Like I really.
That's for sure.
Like Alex is definitely a guy. Like as I said, like me and him have been talking for weeks, and it's definitely like he made me realize like I definitely he's someone I need on my team, and like I was like, okay, he's going up, I'm going up, let's do it, and so guys, keep an eye out for him.
Yes, sir.
Subscribe to him, or I don't know, I'm not subscribed, but like follow him on social medias, and man,
like, share, and subscribe. Always plug.
Always plug. Oh yes, and I'll definitely be putting like a link to my YouTube. I definitely have a YouTube that I'm gonna start posting a lot of visual content on there. In spite of like an Instagram or Snapchat, I'm still thinking about it, but I definitely will have an Instagram because I need like an outlet to really promote myself.
Yeah, promote yourself and just keep track of how many podcasts you've had.
Right.
And what people you've had on it, you know what I mean?
So Alex, tell me, man, what people have you been talking to recently?
Oh, well, other than females, No, I'm just playing. It's mainly just been a lot of friends that I've been connecting with recently. I found myself distancing myself earlier on from a lot of people, and I was just kind of being secluded from the world. And I then realized that there's people out there that hit me up, and they're still like, hey, like, how you doing type idea. And it's like it hit me that I wasn't doing that right back. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so. I changed the way of life, just kept talking, kept linking up with like older friends, like even people from my primary school that I used to hang out with. It's been a crazy world, but
so let me ask you this: what do you think has changed from you being where you are now till like your last year of high school? What do you think was like
high school?
What do you think was like a very big self improvement you realized about yourself that you're like, okay, like let me really.
I think my attitude really changed. My last year of high school, I'm not going to lie, I was almost a high school dropout. I was skipping school all the time. I had a bad attitude with my family, with a lot of my friends. It was more of an aggressive lifestyle. And once I jumped out of high school and realized that there are bigger people out there that you say those kind of things to, and you could really end up in a shitty position. And I realized that if you end up helping those people out because they have a lot of struggles going on, then things are always better on the good side. You know, karma always comes around.
For sure.
So it's always been. I always thought that changing my karma changed my way of approaching things, like being aggressive with people or stuff like that. It just kind of, it really brought me to the person who I am.
You know what they say, man? They really say, like, if you put out good energy on the world, you know, the world will give you back good energy back. That's and I true. Think, you know, yeah, as you said, back in high school, everyone had an attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, but it's really once you grow out of your old ways and you realize, okay, no, I really gotta fucking grow and be mature about it. Things that's really good, man. Mm-hmm. And like it's sort of satisfying because as you transitionally change to the person you want to be, you realize that like you like there's better things that come your way. You know, opportunities really open up just because you're charismatic. You're having a better outlook at life. You know, like you're putting yourself out there. You know, whereas if you're a bum and you're not doing anything, you know,
you're not doing anything. You don't have like a social media account. You know, like linking up with friends. Yeah, your friend,
or even no, but even so, like your friends being like a bad influence towards you. You know, it sort of puts you in a position where you're like, yo, like, what am I doing for myself? Like, am I being a sheep or am I being a, like, you know?
Yeah, am I just following around people or am I trying to show them the way? You know?
Yeah. So when you realize a lot of bad things about yourself and you try to change that, man, like that's you leading yourself to a big life. You know.
Big life. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. This shit fucking goes out. Okay. 15 minutes.
Just wanted to make sure it wasn't stopped recording, you know?
No.
Okay.
No, man. But yeah, man.
Double check on that, too.
So now that we're actually in November.
Nice. Yeah, we're good.
Now that we're in November, do you have any upcoming New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals?
Well, like I said, the website, I want to definitely have that up by next year, have it all going, you know, promoting myself, have it all working with videographers and everyone. I also have a bigger goal of moving out eventually soon enough, but that's down the line, you know.
Well, would you move on your own, or are you looking for someone to move in with?
Well, I'm looking for another roommate, but it's more or less I gotta be with the right person, you know what I mean?
Right.
I've seen a lot of people move out, and you know they just end up in a shitty position, like you know, Cordell.
Right.
Yeah, for instance, he's gotten kicked out multiple times because of his roommate. You know, like you end up in a shitty position because you went with someone who you kind of just thought you knew who they were. You know, and
it's true, man. Once you move out, they say like when you live with someone, you really get to see their true character. You know, like you get to see how they live. So I guess you gotta find someone you already know that's, you know, like in a good place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like for instance, like I've named his name Cordell. He's I've gone to his place so many times. You know, I've seen him move from like 3 different places and the way he lives, and it's like that for sure is one person that I could live with. He's clean. You know, he takes care of his bills. He's not a slob. You know, that kind of stuff. Like and. Yeah, it's just it's hard to find those kind of people. Yeah. It's hard to get that time with people to.
You know how to cook?
Yeah, but I'm cooking all day. I ain't gonna lie, when I get home, I'm trying to order Uber Eats or something at that point.
Damn, bro. It seems like when people move out sometimes, like for the first couple of months, it's usually like craft dinner or like
ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles, you know. You got
that's life. Ramen noodles and toast.
Real, man. Nah, man. I always thought like if I were to move out, like I have everything set. Like I know if I move out, I'm going straight to Valley Village. I'm grabbing everything I need. 100%. I'm going back home, going to Dollarama, pots, pans, glasses, everything. You know, I'm such a cheap person when it comes to life, man. Like,
yeah, for real estate. Why do you need to pay like $100 for like a set of glasses? Yeah, real shit. Like.
Bulletproof glasses.
Yeah. Bulletproof glasses, shatterproof glasses.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. And I think there's nothing wrong with living the cheap life, you know, like. Absolutely. I think, and it goes back to what I actually wanted to talk about. I think with the generation we're living in, you know, everything has a price tag or a very high price tag. Yeah. And people don't realize, I think people are drawn more to the fact that the value is so high that if they get it, they're the only person that got it because the value is high. You know?
Like, a lot of people I notice are looking up at celebrities and, like, are going at them being like, oh, they have this much money and like they're wearing this, and it's like you're not even looking at what they did to get to that point,
right.
you know? Like, they lost everything and they gave up everything to live this life, you know? So a lot of people are just looking at the money and not really realizing the kind of work you got to put into it.
Yeah, man. And I think social media, too, like, it really brainwashes a lot of people to think negative and just not look at their life, you know? Have you ever fallen under the anxiety of comparing yourself to someone on social media?
Comparing myself, no, but I could say, like, rating myself on a sense of knowing where my place is at, you know what I mean? Like, realizing that I don't have 10K followers, but I also don't have, like, 50 followers, you know,
right.
like that kind of stuff. Or I don't have, like, 1 million friends, but I still have the homeboys that I still hit up, you know? Like, it's... It never really bothers me about not having or going into that kind of depression.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Definitely, because to fall in that, you know, like, that comparison, it's sort of saddening, man.
It truly is. Can't compare yourself to someone else. Everyone's different. Everyone's got a different mindset. Everyone's got a different thought process, you know?
Word. Let me check what I have here. It's my little handy dandy. I have a couple things to ask.
Sure.
A couple things to write about. On this page. So we're on the topic of music.
Music, yes sir.
What music are you listening to recently?
Recently, Roddy Ricch. Shout out Roddy Ricch, you know. man's dropped a new track, Tiptoe.
Right.
I've been listening to that a lot, but it's been more or less... I found myself transferring to UK rap.
Yeah, the grime scene.
The grime scene,
Yeah.
you know, the drill UK.
Yeah,
you
drill
know?
UK shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I find, they sound a lot alike, but it's more or less they're telling different stories, and a lot of these people are actually, like, they're living a different way of life, you know?
Right.
Like, you gotta think, like, Canada and United States, yeah, they're different, but they're quite similar, and then UK, it's completely different.
Right.
It's a lot more, like, ergonomical, I want to say.
But still similar to Canada in terms
Yeah.
of diversity and just the cultures that are put in both countries. Like, I think they're very similar, you know? And as much as like the UK, they, you know, the people over there face more racism, you know, I think it's sort of beautiful to sort of be like, yo, like, UK and Canada the same, you know? We share the same queen, fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
where's the queen at? The queen has never been in Canada.
She came like once a year, you know. Man. It's the capital of Canada too. That's crazy.
No, but the UK music is definitely something I've been listening to for last year. Like, as you did mention, they all do sound alike. Like,
Yeah,
it's the accent. It's
crazy,
definitely the accent.
yeah.
The accent I think when it comes to the British accents, they all have the same voice pitch, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. like buff.
You know,
You want to go to the store real quick?
it could be like you look like I remember I was watching a YouTube video, and it was like a Somali rapper, but he was Somali, right? And like he was speaking he was speaking in the British accent. I'm like, wait, what? And then there's a white boy next to him, and they're like,
They sound the same.
I was like, yo,
I close my eyes and you guys swap spots. I can't tell who's who, you know? Like,
it baffled me, man. I was like, yo, what is going on, bro? Such a beautiful accent, though, for sure.
Yeah, truly.
For sure, but they party hard over there, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I've been told, you know? I've known a lot of people. I've never gone to the UK, but I have traveled the world, too. But it's more or less going to, like, the vacation cities or that
Cuba,
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Fucking America.
Cuba, Hawaii, whatever, you know?
Right.
Texas. Other than that, the music is just like, it's been a big impact in my life, I want to say.
Okay.
I listen to it every day, you know? It's something that I find myself I can't live without with, you know? And although you may not be able to relate to it as often or be able to relate to the music, the vibe that you get from it, it's it gives you that energy, you know what I mean? It keeps you motivated, it keeps you keeping going, looking forward to bigger and better things, you know? But UK rap. UK rap, that is some crazy shit.
Banging right now. No, that's banging for sure.
Yeah.
Man. Shout out to all the UK rappers. You know, if you guys ever listen to my podcast, holla at me, send me some links, you know, send me some samples, send me some merch. Listen, me, I'm a person, as I said, I mentioned this earlier, I'm a cheap ass motherfucker. So if you guys would love to send me free shit, let me know. I'll send you guys my address, and then you guys can, you know, do your thing.
Do your thing.
I could definitely model it out for you, whatever you guys send me. But Alex, I think this was definitely a dope podcast for 30 minutes. I thought we were gonna go for 45 minutes, but I think, you know, with what's going on there
fuck.
too. Nah, it's cool. It's cool. Don't worry.
No.
What?
It stopped recording.
Oh.
I want to see how long it goes.
Yeah?
Because it can only record for 20 minutes. Damn, this is a good angle.
That was a good angle?
Yeah.
I'm going to end the podcast now.